Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is AJ and this is the price prediction department. I'm really excited to get into today's video because when I think about all the projects in crypto and the difference they make in the real world, a real difference, a few projects come to mind and one of them is definitely VeChain. Let's get it. So let's start at the beginning. Founded by Sunny Liu, a man who worked high up the ladder at the Chinese branch of Louis Vuitton, founded VeChain in 2015. It was launched on Ethereum at first, but eventually it migrated to its own proof of authority public-based blockchain. It's important to know that VeChain was specifically built as an enterprise-grade solution to help alleviate problems with supply chain management, logistics, and product authenticity verification. So why does this matter? Well, look at it like this. I'm sure most of you remember when COVID-19 absolutely decimated global supply chains, especially food. And with that said, not many companies capitalized on this issue like VeChain did. It's common knowledge that VeChain has a lot of Chinese backers, Chinese investors, and there's a reason for that. For the record, VeChain conducts business worldwide and has many international offices, but I specifically want to zoom in on why China needs VeChain. If you look at China as a whole, a country with that many people, with that many goods, with that many supplies, they need a more efficient way to handle their logistics and supply chain management. And think about the margin of error here. When an enterprise-grade company imports and exports millions and millions of units of goods and services around, some of those things tend to fall off the back of the truck, so to speak. Think about all the products that went missing or were sent to the wrong place. And if some of those products have expiration dates, like food, these companies were letting millions, if not billions of dollars slip through the cracks every year. When I read this next statistic, it blew my mind. According to a 2020 report by Cointelegraph Consulting and VeChain, suggested that 300 billion worth of food would be tracked and traced on the blockchain by 2027. In an industry surprisingly rife with fraud, the use of blockchain tech would reportedly save 100 billion per year by ensuring the products that land in stores are legitimate. So when you run a company on that large of a scale, you know that you're going to take on risk. And you know that there's going to be a certain percentage of those products that go missing or go bad or get lost. And at this large of a scale, the profits are made in the margins. And VeChain's solutions are saving these companies billions and billions of dollars every year. And I'm not talking about any small companies here either. I'm talking companies like Walmart, BMW, H&M. VeChain has a partnership with the UFC. I remember when I was watching a Khamzat Chimaev fight and a VeChain logo was on the mat. How cool is that? And obviously VeChain is partnered with a plethora of massive Chinese companies that you probably never heard of. Companies like the National Research Consulting Center, or Directed Imported Goods, or BYD, or Build Your Dreams, which is one of the largest manufacturers of electric cars and batteries. The list goes on, and in terms of a crypto project integrating with real-world companies with a product that delivers, I can see why so many people have been asking for this video and are bullish on VeChain. I'm not kidding. In the comments of the past couple of videos, I've seen a lot of people asking for a VeChain video, and this is why. Beyond just supply chain management, VeChain also facilitates high-speed, low-cost payment settlements, which is a must-have for upper echelon companies. And of course, it wasn't that hard for these companies to adopt VeChain into their system because VeChain uses pre-existing infrastructure familiar in the supply chain management world. You know, like QR codes or RFID, NFC, things like that keep track of your inventory so you know exactly what step of a delivery a product is in or stops food from going bad. We're talking quality, storage, geolocation, temperature, authenticity, and the list goes on and on. On top of all the traditional tools used in supply chain management, they're adding blockchain technology on top of this to ensure that extra layer of immutability, transparency, speed, and everything else that comes with it. What I like most about VeChain is that it was made for enterprise-grade companies to utilize and as a crypto that we can use and trade, not the other way around. It's not like they made the crypto first and then tried to puzzle piece a utility. They started with the utility and we can also trade it. Yeah, sure, it was designed for supply chain management, but over time it has developed into a platform where you can create and execute smart contracts and dApps as well. And because of this development, they have everything to offer any other layer one would have to offer, like, DeFi, gaming, trading, NFTs, the list goes on and on. And if you want to check out NFTs on VeChain, I highly suggest you go over to vc.io. They have some really cool stuff on there, and I'm not even just saying that. And you also have to appreciate that VeChain is a carbon-friendly blockchain. And according to their website, the 1-year carbon footprint of their 101 authority nodes is equivalent to 1 gasoline-powered vehicle driven for 1 year. Impressive. And they have a lot more to offer on the horizon as well. Their new white paper was recently released earlier this year. I will link that in the description if you want to read it. They have a new Web3 service platform called Vorge, which actually uses the interplanetary file system that we learned about last week in our Filecoin Are We video. Be sure to check out Vorge if you haven't already. The new V-World self-custody wallet looks promising, although it's only in beta, and it will be a great way to interact with VeChain's entire ecosystem. I'm not going to lie here. If you haven't spent hours and hours learning about VeChain before in the past, it is an intimidating project to really get into because there is so much to it. But I promise you, take a deep dive for a couple days in a row and you will look up and be very impressed on how versatile and how much VeChain really does have to offer. And because there is so much to it, the new 2023 roadmap for VeChain is also linked in the description. Be sure to check it out. So as we approach the tokenomics section, I just want you to know that VeChain is different. Unlike most coins, VeChain has a unique 2-coin model, VeChain and Vethor. So there's VeChain or VET, which we're doing the price prediction on, and then there's Vethor and the ticker is VTHO, and that's more like the incentives, payments, gas fee type token. There's a lot to this. And the short version is, you know how if you do a transaction on Ethereum, you pay your gas fee in Ethereum? Well, if you do a transaction on VeChain, you're paying that gas fee in Vethor, not VET. And this is good for the supply because VeChain burned 70% of the transaction costs paid in Vethor. To be clear, they are only burning Vethor, but there's a big but here. The VeChain Foundation does big buybacks of the VET token, which acts as a burn mechanism. Well, the coins aren't actually burned or set on fire, but they are used to generate more Vethor tokens, which incentivizes the devs, and then the cycle happens all over again. And you might be thinking, AJ, where do I get Vethor tokens? Well, if you hodl VeChain, you get a small amount of Vethor added to your wallet every day. Like I said, it's not much, but if you hold a lot of VeChain, it will add up over time. Speaking of things adding up over time, I need to call Gary and ask him a question. What's the number again? Oh yeah, 666. Okay, it's ringing. Well, I'd like to thank Gary for not picking up, and I'd like to thank Stake for sponsoring this video. And with that said, let's get into the VeChain price prediction. On April 18th, 2021, VeChain put up its all-time high at just about 28 cents. It was ranked 13th by market cap at the time. On that day, VeChain's market cap was 16.36 billion and its supply was 64.3 billion. Unfortunately, today, VeChain is 94% down from its all-time high and it's priced just under 2 cents. It is currently ranked 40th by market cap, and VeChain's market cap is currently a little over 1.5 billion. To my surprise, for a coin that's down 94%, its supply has only grown by 13% and it is currently at 72.7 billion. And unlike a lot of other projects, I have some good news. VeChain's max supply is 86.7 billion and is already 83.8% vested. This is very good news. When you look at all the other coins that are, 15, 18, only 20% vested, to see VeChain is already 83% vested, that's pretty good. So what about the tokenomics? How long will it take for VeChain to reach that max supply? And this is where we kind of hit a bump in the road. I have found two different sources online that say VeChain's inflation rate is 11.45% per year. But that cannot be correct if it has only grown 13% from its previous all-time high, which was like 28 months ago. And the thing is that unlike other coins, there is not a cut and dry emission schedule like there is for other projects with VeChain. And I got to thinking, and that's because of its relationship with Vethor, the other token. And then when you add the burn mechanism on top of that and the buybacks from the VeChain Foundation, it's really hard to figure out exactly what that number is going to be. So you could either do a monthly average or do what I did. So since its previous all-time high was 28 months ago, and November 2025, which is what we're projecting for the top of the next bull run based off the Bitcoin halving cycle, November 25 is 27 months from now. And since it grew, 13% from its previous all-time high to now, I wonder what 13% would be if we go from here to November of 25. And when you add that up, you would get a heightened supply of 82.29 billion. And it's funny because I also ran the numbers for a monthly average, and this number is only off by 2%. And remember, the equation for price predictions is price equals market cap divided by circulating supply. And in this case, the circulating supply for November of 25 is going to be 82.29 billion. Many of you who have been following this video series really like when I apply the previous dominance idea to future price predictions. If you look at this chart here on your screen of VeChain's dominance level, you will see that the 0.41% level is a relevant support resistance line, and it would be a very big deal if it found a way to reclaim that level. For those of you who don't know what a dominance level means, that means that 0.41% of the entire crypto market cap was VeChain's market share. In the previous bull run, the total market cap of all of crypto went to about $3 trillion. For the next bull run, we're thinking you can get somewhere between $7 and $10 trillion. And if VeChain regains that 0.41 dominance level at a $7 or $10 trillion range, that would obviously play a big role in the price. So if the total market cap of all of crypto went to $7 trillion and VeChain got 0.41% of that market share, its market cap would be 28.7 billion, which would be a 35-cent VeChain. And remember, that's using the heightened supply for the denominator. If you run the same dominance equation, except the total market cap would be 10 trillion, that would be a $41 billion market cap for VeChain, which would make the price cost about 50 cents. I really like using dominance as a gauge to see where things could be, considering how ridiculous the total market cap could get. But just because a dominance level equals this or that for a price doesn't mean that's what I'm going to use for my price prediction. I just like running those numbers to see what the range could be. And with all that being said, considering VeChain's market cap is around 1.5 billion right now, that has a really long way to go, and I might be overestimating a little bit. I don't want to be a moon boy, I like doing moon math, but I try my best to stay realistic. Considering where VeChain is now, I think it would be very impressive if it reached its previous all-time high market cap of 16.8 billion. That's a lot of money, and when you run that with the heightened supply, you would have a 20-cent VeChain, which is just around an 11x from right here. For the higher end of my price prediction, I am going to go with the lower end of the dominance idea. With a $28.7 billion market cap divided by the heightened supply we calculated earlier, each VeChain would be about 35 cents. And that is about a 20x from right here. So when someone asked me, AJ, what do you think VeChain could get to by the top of the next bull run? I'm going to say somewhere between 20 and 35 cents. But that's just an estimation. Bang, bang. There you go. There's my VeChain price prediction. Was I too bearish? Was I too bullish? I want to know what you think down below in the comments. And with that said, my name is AJ Writes Crypto. Have yourself a great rest of your weekend.